So we want to welcome you today in the introduction to the work video. We are Discover Wholeness founders, Adam and Eve Miller, and we are very thrilled to be introducing of what this work brings to the people, what kind of capabilities open up, and the form of healing that is offered when one embarks on such journey. So, Adam, your work, your journey began back in 1977 after you had your near-death experience.
That's correct. In 1977, I had a death experience in which it launched me into a whole new way of living that created an entire way of seeing the way I see myself and the way I see my world. And pretty much from there on, I started to see, hear, and feel things that were, in some people's point of view, abnormal even. It was definitely, most certainly abnormal to me. And I wasn't even sure what was going on for a long time. However, people just started to come. I had a lot of people with injuries and disease and mental problems and car accidents and various other things that happened to them that they needed some resolve with. So
Discover Wholeness as an idea is rooted in holistic way of living. It is placing the individual at the center of ownership of what they have invited and brought upon in their lives. It is one of the fundamental steps as part of the process of that transformation that each and every person holds, is bringing about the awareness of where and how chaos or disconnection was brought in.
I've been working now for 40 plus years. And in that time, what used to happen when people would come in to see me is they would come in with whatever injury, disease, etc. they had, and basically holy type of energy would fix it. And so that worked for many, many years. However, I had lots of people coming back later with different types of things. So it'd be the same person. We fixed whatever it was they had in the first place, but we didn't get to the source well enough to where they didn't continue to have problems. So I would see, say, Joe or Mary or whoever about, let's say, a back problem, and that would be totally gone. However, the next thing they knew, they had some kind of liver thing, kidney thing, whatever, and so now we had to fix that.
The beautiful thing about that is so unique to this work is the invitation and the beautiful partnership of allowing holy energy to enter a person, and together is where miracles happen.
When a person simply calls that type of energy to them, then what ends up happening is now you're inviting something much, much larger than yourself to come and help. Because, as I've learned through my death experience, none of us are alone. To take a fragmented person and make them whole again. That's actually what we're doing. So it's not so much of healing or any other type of so-called modalities that people do in the world. Here we don't do any of that. What we actually do is explore the deepest part of the self or selves in a manner in which we can get down underneath that skin level, right? And we want to straighten that all out. Well, the only way you're going to really straighten that out is to be able to get to the source.
So you call yourself a
alternative healthcare practitioner.
And so as part of that job,
yes,
what do you offer to people? What does that mean?
So what that means is, especially with, like, here's a good example. So especially with somebody that has back pain. Basically, and this is not an exaggeration, you can look at all the testimonials to back all this up. including I recently saw a woman who had 27 years of back pain so bad that she actually had migraine headaches with it, etc. She came and she did one session for 2 hours, and by the end of it, she had no pain whatsoever. The way that works is, like we were saying before, we have people come in and sit down on the couch, which these are the couches we use pretty much. It's not anything weird. It's not anything out there. I most certainly am not wowie zowie on any level at all. I'm just a regular guy, other than the job, right? So she comes in. We ask her a huge amount of questions. In her case, it turned out that on the other side of the reality that we have here, mm-hmm. she had a sister who died many, many years ago. And this woman had a huge amount of guilt about that woman's death, her sister's death. So she was hanging on to a dead person, basically. So much so that she was creating her own pain in her own body. Once we discovered that that was going on, then we could talk about all those things and undo that guilt and undo that issue. Then she actually sat down on a table. We have a table. Mm-hmm. And then the person lays down. I do actually touch someone, anybody, and then the holy energy actually comes through the person. It doesn't come through me. It comes through the person that I'm working on, and it changes the cellular structure of an injury or disease or even a mental illness. And in that time of about 2 hours, it changes it so much. In the case of the woman that I'm mentioning, she did not have any pain anymore. In the past, I really wasn't asking anybody anything about anything. They came in, they got on the table, we did some holy work, and they walked out without whatever it was they had. But like I said before, because we didn't spend the time educating anybody, then they ended up with something else and something else. These days, what happens is when you come in, we're very, very, very thorough at asking you all the questions, not some of them, all of the questions about everything that's going on with you externally. But that's not really the important one. The important one we're asking you is what's going on internally with you. What's going on inside here that makes you sick? What's going on inside here that makes you depressed? What's going on inside here that makes you have all kinds of problems? We talk about finances. We talk about relationships. We talk about a job that you may not be working, and so on and so forth. Well, the reason that all of that is going on is because you are unsettled inside. So 50% of this job is to settle the interior space of yourself enough so that we can get to the source of whatever your illness or problem is.
I think it's a very fitting time to begin offering this outside of just referral style, how your work had been for a long time. I think that with the general public, with people out there, there's so much information now, and it's beginning to link in and sink in that we are indeed interconnected within ourselves, that trauma and drama and stresses and disconnect or discontent, anger, things of that sort, anything that robs us of our well-being, that it does indeed connect to how your body will store that, what it will turn into, that things don't, what's the law of physics? That energy cannot be destroyed, it can be only changed. So everything is energy, whether it's a negative energy that we absorb and then it turns into a creation of your not liking, right? Or a mental glitch that does not allow you to just live freely.
Right.
That all of it is a mathematical equation. What are you most excited about for people who will be coming and doing this?
What am I most excited about? Well, obviously, I'm excited that they can walk out of here, say, pain free from back pain, or walk out of here with whatever disease, autoimmune or otherwise, they had, and just not have it. It doesn't mean that you're going to come here in one session and that the miracles are going to happen every time. It's not all of that. What it is that when you come here, you're going to do really, really well and you will have a result. That's what I'm excited about.
And I'm excited about people being able to experience something that will be with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
They can always return to going, I remember that feeling. I remember this knowing. I remember this lesson. And so they are able to perpetuate going through life in a much more graceful way, and
Yeah.
to use this information in their work, in their families, in their finances, in their outlook in life, and of course how they affect other people as well.